Good morning folks, and welcome to Armitage Leather. Now I'd like to talk very briefly, this is advertising. I am selling something without shadow of a doubt, and hopefully it's something that you're going to want. Now you will have seen the burnisher, and I'm just going to touch on it very briefly before I move on. The concept of slicking edges on leather is not a new one, but little thought seems to have been given to the angle of the grooves that ultimately then transfers onto the edge of the leather, which then increases or decreases the finished quality of that item. And I was never satisfied with the tools that were available and the angles that they gave me, so I came up with the angle that I wanted, and from that we got the burnisher. And the burnisher has been received exceptionally well. A lot of people are having fantastic success with it, and we're all really pleased. But we wanted to add something to it using the same ethos and the same principles that we put into the burnisher. So I came up with a hand slicker. Now, having looked at the burnisher, it's not a massive leap at all, really. The first 6 grooves of the burnisher are the same as the 6 grooves on the slicker. That's really important. And the reason for that is you can take an item from the burnisher to the slicker, or the slicker to the burnisher, and use the same groove and get the same results. If you have, if you're making a bag and you're making all the small sections of it, you can do them quickly on the burnisher. However, if you've got the massive back and flap section of the bag that you can't physically get to the burnisher, you can use a slicker, but be reassured that all the edges are going to match. They're going to be the same profile, and that's the most important thing. We followed on from that and made it bigger, and this is what's standardly available at the moment via eBay, and many stockists are selling this, but it's actually quite small. I find this a little bit too puny and fiddly in my hand. I want something a little larger and more robust, so I've made my slicker bigger. It's 7.5 inches long, that's 190 mil. 6 grooves, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 and 10. It's got a dome end and it's got the tapered shaft, and it fits in the hand beautifully. And we made 2, one with rounded grooves, one with flat grooves. There are occasions, certainly on single skin items such as belts, where you want to round the edge of your item, not have it flat. On multiple pieces it's nicer to have it flat because you get that lovely shiny consistent edge. So we've taken exactly the same dimensions, the same size groove, except on this one we've rounded it and this one we've kept it flat. And what we're going to do is going to have a look at these in use and see how simple it is to generate a very high quality edge on a piece of leather, and more importantly why having the right groove cut the right way is important to a finished item. So, firstly, what I have here is a piece of shoulder, 3mm thick, it's dyed through. I am going to bevel the back. I'm using a fine beveler because I want a flat edge. So you can see I'm only taking a little bit of leather off. It's fairly insignificant. However, that's just going to round the edges of the leather but keep the top of the edge flat. So let's zoom in, and I'm going to add some moisture to this, and then we'll see what happens when we run the slicker across it. I've added some moisture to the edge of the leather, not a huge amount, and it is just moisture. It is not any form of chemical, gum trigantha or anything special like that. So I'm going to use the flat burnisher, and I'm going to use the first groove, which is number 3, and all I'm going to do is just ride this up and down that edge, and you will notice, if you can see that hopefully, that the whole edge is beginning to show a nice sheen, and the reason being is the grooves are cut to match that beveler. and as a result every single piece of the leather is being touched by the slicker, and that means that the edge that you get, just with a little bit of moisture and a little bit of elbow grease, that means that's the edge that you get. And you can see already that is phenomenal. But this is the most important thing. Look at that line. There is no crushing at all, and all I'm going to do is pop that down there, get a cloth and just try and get rid of the moisture that I've created on that edge, so you can see that line. That's straight all the way through, which means when you black that edge up and polish it, that is going to look absolutely fantastic. So using a slightly larger beveler, I'm going to use one of the Horseshoe brand tools here, because I still find I'm picking this up very, very frequently. You can see there I'm taking off an awful lot more leather. We'll put the two together. That's made a reasonable difference. And then take it off the front. So that's taken quite a bulk of the corner off, and we've probably got the closest thing to a round there just from beveling. I'm going to moisten this up, zoom in, and then we'll look at what the round slicker does to that. So there we go. We've beveled this, we've added a little bit of moisture to the edge, not a huge amount, we're not soaking it or making it swim. And now I'm going to take the round slicker, and again, no difference. But the nice thing is, there's such a chunky piece of wood, it's easy to hang on to. And you can see after only 3 or 4 strokes, that shine is already beginning to come, because the right amount of wood is touching the leather in the right place. It's touching all of the leather, which means you're getting a very, very even and consistent 3mm rounded edge. Look at that. You can't argue with that. I don't care what anybody says. That is exactly what we are trying to achieve when we round a piece of leather. But most importantly, look at that edge. Look at that shine, how sharp that edge is. And all I'm going to do, again, is get my cloth, get rid of any moisture. How's that? And that is as simple as having the grooves match the thickness of the leather. Now, all I'm doing at the moment is just running it up and down the spine, getting it even and consistent. I'm going to just tilt, and this is the nice thing about the pencil, it's got a flat edge. Any pointy pokey thing with a flat edge will do. But if we angle the pencil towards that edge and just turn the pencil to introduce a little bit more edge coat, you will find that you can follow that line that you've created with the slicker really, really well. Take the beeswax, rub it up and down, get the right one, get the right groove, bed that beeswax in, get a cloth, buff that edge up, take any excess beeswax off the edge, look at that. You would not be disappointed with that, would you? I'm certainly not. Right, hopefully I've let the tools speak for themselves. Both of these are available from justwood.com, and I shall stick a link down below. They are individually $14.95, or you can buy them as a pair for $28.70. Just Wood ship worldwide, so wherever you are you can have one. If you're a distributor or a supplier, please feel free to drop us an email, and we'd be more than happy to talk terms with regard to stocking them. But you can see what this tool can do with a little bit of thought. What we need when we're trying to achieve the best edge that we can. It's gone a long way, folks. I hope that's helpful. I hope you find it useful. I hope you buy the tool and enjoy it and get as much success from it as I suspect you will do. Please let me know. Feel free to drop a comment down below, but don't drop any burning questions down there because I don't come back that frequently. If you have a burning question for me, email me at nigel@armitageleather.com or pop over to my Facebook page and leave a comment there. I'll be happy to hear from you. Have a good day and thank you very much.